there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine. Hey, Morty, guess what time it is?
I don't know, Rick. What is it?
It's reserve time.
Hello, guys, and welcome. This is an AD2L matchup, season 15, week 4 for All About Dota. I am Legion 170. I am joined by Maniac. Maniac, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Awesome. I've got a little bit of echo here. I don't know what's going on with that thing, so I'll have to check that out here in a second. But in the meantime, we've got a draft, and it's speeding along, so let's go ahead and switch over to that. So, Maniac, what initial impressions do you have as we look at these picks and bans here?
Lemon Snow Cone's going with to ban the Slark and Ricky, which seems like they do every time, and picking up that Void that they really like to have.
There we go. I didn't have co-broadcasters muted, so I think we have that fixed. Yeah, we've got that typical Slark Ricky ban. Lich Faceless, not really a surprise opener either, as we know Ziggy likes to play that Faceless, and Lich is a pretty staple support pickup here. Good 5 support for LSC. Spiritbreaker Silencer is a little bit more interesting to me. Do you think the Silencer is going to be a core or a support?
I'd think a support, but either way, I'm not a huge fan because I don't feel that Silencer usually is very good, because it's kind of just for his ult. Other than that, it doesn't really seem like he does much usually.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like, he can do really good right-click damage, but it takes him quite a bit of farm and quite a bit of being around kills with that insta-steal to do it. And the ultimate is good, but against heroes like Faceless Void and Lich that are going to get those ults out really quickly at the beginning of a fight, like, maybe you can stop the Lich ult, but you're probably not going to stop the Faceless Void one unless you're, like, really, really quick on the trigger finger. So I kind of hope that it's a core Silencer or like maybe like an offlane Spirit Breaker, because I just really feel that if this is their support duo, this is not going to end well for them.
I like the Spirit Breaker in the off lane because you put him in there. If you dual lane it, you can get him a little farm at the beginning and then start having him rotate on mid and safe lane and get some early kills.
And speaking of those potential mid heroes, you've got Invoker and Weaver going out of the pool. Drow, not really a potential mid, but does have pretty decent synergy with the Faceless Void, can attack from that long distance. Invoker as well. Interesting to see the bans in these mid phases, because they're completely ignoring heroes that like the pros are really kind of big into. Like the Magnus is not even really a question here. Lifestealer hasn't been as big lately, but is still a pretty decent hero. Juggernaut's still available, so a lot of pretty top-tier heroes kind of getting ignored by bans.
I definitely think the Lifestealer would be good for NoUR. Put him in that Spirit Breaker. It's pretty good Lifestealer bomb carrier.
It's the classic cheese, run across the map. You have global. 2 heroes to get there. Also, wouldn't mind seeing... Okay, Luna's not a good Lifestealer carrier. I was going to say maybe like a Puck, but they're going to go with the Luna here. Good push hero. Has been nerfed recently. Mostly with the night vision and how much that provides, and a little bit on base damage, I want to say. Something like that. Line comes out again. Pretty stable support hero. Not really flashy, but can do pretty good things. Good CC. Same thing with CM. I mean, it's not a hero that's going to blow your socks off, but good stable hero. Can find farm in the jungle. Provides good mana regen to the Silencer and the Luna, who both kind of need it. Even the Spirit Breaker could use it.
They're definitely going in a lot on these big ults, so they're going to have to work around those a lot.
Yeah, so we've got a Slardar picked in here, so maybe like a carry Faceless Void with the offlane Slardar. Not a lot of synergy between the Void and the Slardar. I don't know if that's a concern or not.
I guess they can use the corrosive haze on him inside the chrono and help take him down quicker. Just have the Slardar going after the people who weren't caught in the chrono.
So NoUR probably needs some kind of either like an off-lane support or maybe even a mid-hero depending on where they're going to put that silencer. So looking at their lineup, what do you think? I'm thinking something with some push potential or at least some like snowball potential early. Maybe like an Undying?
I'm kind of leaning towards them going for a different mid hero because I don't know. I don't really like silencer mid, but silencer support I guess isn't much better. So
if you want to pick a mid here, LSC's got to pick their mid as well. I think you have to consider the sniper either as a ban here or as a pick in the next phase. Trying to think here. Templar I think would be pretty good. They don't really have any damage over time, so I think actually for NoUR, Templar would be a pretty excellent pick.
I think the Queen would be decent for snow cones for a mid. Gives it some burst for inside, more burst for inside the chrono, and a little more pick off potential.
You know, if they want to get really crazy and kind of cheesy, they could do like a Skywrath mid for pairing up with that Void. That's old school. That's like TI2 era Dendi style. I think he played it like once.
Yeah, that'd be a good combo to put with it.
You know, I'd like to see Troll Warlord as well, maybe for NoUR. I think the hero's generally underrated, and the attack speed on both the Spearbreaker and the Luna could be really nice. Would also provide some evasion if he hits the blinding axes on like the Void or the Slardar, avoid some of those bashes. So potentially good solutions there. I think the OD would have been good, but he's banned out. I still think Templar is probably the best option for NoUR. Maybe a Death Prophet? You don't see the hero a lot because she's kind of terrible after like 25 minutes, but it does look like they kind of want to attack early and really push. Maybe Zeus even. Get some of that global strat with the Spirit Breaker Silencer.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. So you could have that, the charge, the silence. It's a lot to put into global.
Lena's a possibility here for LSC2. They have played it on occasion, and it does pair pretty well with the Faceless Void and the Slardar. You know, you get a nice Crush, Corrosive Haze, Laguna onto somebody, they're probably just going to die. If they wanted to go AoE, Puck would work as well. Maybe Wind Ranger. We're just kind of throwing out all the options, I guess, but I would say maybe Wind Ranger or Lena would probably be my favorites. And actually, wow. Okay. So, going maybe a little bit green. They're super tanky on LSC. Like, the Medusa, the Slaughter, the Faceless Void. The two supports are kind of chunky, but... And the kind of nice thing about this is they have kind of weak laning supports. Like, Lich is pretty good, but Lion's a weak laning support, but they don't really have a hero that requires a ton of babysitting. Like, both Faceless and Slaughter can survive. They're pretty durable. They can trade hits pretty well, so like if they need to gank for the Medusa, they can do so fairly easily.
I think the Medusa also adds a late game for Lemon Snow Cones to match up with the Luna, because the rest of their people aren't super great late, so it kind of adds somebody who can probably match up with her later on if it goes later.
Yeah, definitely provides that damage potential. Be kind of interesting to see them NoUR throw like Luna mid and take Anti-Mage here. Oh no, they're going to go Ember. A little bit interesting with the Ember Spirit pickup since he has been nerfed a decent amount in the last two patches. Interesting to see how he's going to do going up against the Medusa. Will be a pretty tough lane, I feel, with that Snake getting leveled up. He's going to have to level up Flame Guard pretty early. So, first impressions here on the drafts. How do you feel about each team's chances?
I think I'm leaning more towards Lemon Snow Cones with the Faceless Void Lich combo is really good. The Deuce is going to be really strong. I just think they have a really well-rounded team. And I think NoUR is going to a couple of them kind of have to, three of their people have to fight around long cooldowns on ultimates.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of the cooldown game with the Void, the Lion, the Medusa on one side, and the Silencer Luna on the other. Luna's not quite as big, I guess, but yeah, definitely the game of cooldowns here. You know, one hero we didn't talk about who's brand new to Captain's Mode and didn't even get picked or banned, not even a consideration. The Monkey King. Where's the Monkey King love? Like, that hero is pretty good. I'm pretty sure last
Very
week.
annoying.
I'm pretty sure it was last week that it was because I was by myself and it was the first week of the patch. There was a Monkey King support, which did not work very well, but I would like to see the Monkey King picked up in one of these games at some point in the future. So, if you are a under 3K team practicing the Monkey King and are gonna play it, send me a PM sometime so I can cast your game. All right, so we have Maniac, not to be confused with Maniac, playing the Luna, and then we've got Theo Brax on the Silencer, Vigorous on the Ember Spirit, Mexwigian on the Crystal Maiden, and where's our Spirit Breaker? There's our Spirit Breaker. Demon Moose on the Spirit Breaker. In the meantime, here coming out for LSE, we've got Snapped on the offlane Slider, Sheepy on the Lich, supporting that offlane Tar on the Medusa, Ziggity on his Faceless Void, and Aegis Worn on the Lion. Alright, so if I can get my middle mouse button to work. There we go. It's hard to pan the camera without that. So it doesn't look like anybody is smoked up. Nobody's trying to do anything cheeky and get any extra bounties. We do have an early ward placement here by the Lion and another one up in the north by the Lich. So LSE wasted no time at all to get their wards up. In the meantime, Silencer does have one ward and the CM has the other one. So it doesn't look like either team is going to give a ward to their mid laner. I don't know if CM saw that or pinged out the ward or if that was Lion pinging it out for some reason. But team's going to gather up here for 2 easy bounties. Nothing exciting going on here. And off we go.
Kind of surprising to not see Lemon Snow Cones put a ward mid somewhere just to help out that that ganking power from the Spirit Breaker, but I guess Deuce is fairly tanky hero usually.
Yeah, if the Spirit Breaker does kind of like the nice thing about the ward placement where it is it does give pretty good vision of the bottom river, so it should be able to see him if he's up, but if he goes back behind the tower, you're right, they're not going to see it at all, so it's going to be they're going to have to be very vigilant in their missing calls. As a root early comes out from the CM on the Aegis Worn just for some nice little harass damage. Nothing doing there. On the top lane here, we see that the wards got placed almost right next to each other. So if LSE was watching, they should know that ward's there, and they should be a pretty easy D ward. Mid lane here, things going about the way that you would expect. Pretty even, but some decent harass coming out onto Vigorous. Nothing. I mean, all's pretty quiet right now. Oh, nice impale onto the CM here. No, I thought maybe we would see some first blood action, but no. Just some good harassment there. Creeps helping out with that.
Already having to use that bottom shrine there for NoUR.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, actually. Like, was the Spear Breaker low too, or did they just?
Yeah, they were both sub half health.
Okay, I didn't notice. I noticed that the CM was really low. I thought maybe she'd just go back to the base, but did not see the Spear Breaker was that low.
I think this line has been doing a pretty good job of just getting constant harass clicks in there.
And the lanes are something that we didn't really talk about for NoUR, but they are kind of a concern in the fact that like Ember is significantly behind in his lane. The offlaners are not getting a ton going on here in the bottom lane as either, and then the off lane, or their safe lane is doing okay, but not great. Actually, it's doing pretty poorly, all things considered.
Yeah, they're down two. Only got 2 last hits on the Luna in the first almost 3 minutes.
So, laning, yeah, this is definitely a concern here. Vigor's actually opting to pick up boots early on instead of saving for a bottle, so somewhat interesting as Tar goes down bottom and bottles up DD, so that's going to be a pretty dangerous matchup to watch down there. In the meantime, in the top, some harass is coming out from the silencer, but although Lich is silenced, I don't think he really minds that much. Just a momentary deal.
It's kind of interesting to put the Crystal Maiden in the off lane with the Spirit Breaker instead of the Silencer.
Yeah, especially because you could think that like the Silencer is going to need the farm much more than the Crystal, and the Crystal can jungle much easier. You have better access to the jungle at the top lane. She's got good setup for the Spirit Breaker when he comes to, so like she can frostbite somebody right before he gets there. So I agree. It's kind of a interesting decision on laning. The stun's going to come out onto Demon Moose, and then the stun comes out in return onto Aegis Warren. Char's going to follow. Not much going to happen with that. I don't know, I think that was kind of a waste of a charge, but he hasn't really used it yet to this point, so it's not really a big deal. Opting to put a point into Empowering Haste, which is kind of interesting. Usually you see double charge before you see anything like that, but not in this case. So Tar here has got double damage, just wandering his way up towards the top, but is not going to find a rune. 425 in here, no first blood. Everybody's kind of content to farm, which is really good for LSE, but NoUR is already dropping pretty significantly far behind in terms of CS. I mean, you've got a 19 CS advantage in the mid lane. You've got, between carries, you've got 14 difference, and then between offlaners even, you've got 7 difference. So everybody across the board on LSE is laning really well so far. But who can get first blood? I think that could be a pretty big momentum breaker. He just wanted just throwing out impales left and right here, harassing. Maybe he almost got a little too greedy. If the frostbite could have gone out there, probably could have been first blood, but manages to avoid it. Meantime, Tar maybe wasted a little time running around for a rune. He didn't really need it. I mean, he's at full health, full mana. He could probably just sit in the mid lane and farm. And there's that snake. Oh my god, that thing is just cancerous. It's like a third of the Ember Spirit's health in one hit.
He's gonna have to use
the
that.
Top lane
shrine.
here, Snap's gonna go in onto the Silencer, throws a stun down, but he's gonna get Lucent Beamed in return, and some attacks thrown out on him. So not much going on there. Now Vigorous rotating around. What's he doing? Oh, he's waiting for a rune. He's going to catch an Invis rune and rotate up towards the top lane. So this could be our chance to see first blood, as it does have 2 levels in chains. Let's see if we can find something. Snapped is almost healed up, but Sheepy's pretty low. Lucent Beam comes out on Snapped. That's kind of a tactical mistake right there. Instead of letting them push out, they scared him back. I don't know if this is going to work out now. This is going to be very, very close. In the bottom lane, Ziggity's going to get bashed up. Thought maybe something was going to go on here. So it looks like we have kind of a standoff. Vigor's going to come up forward now. Wants to do this, but I don't think they can do it on the Slardar. He's too tanky. He throws out a stun onto the Luna. Now they're going to have to do it, as the chains do not actually catch him. And Sheepy draws first blood onto the Luna. Now Sheepy's going to go down to Vigorous, who pops out of that invis. Kind of unfortunate with those random... the random hits on those chains does not actually capture the Slardar and results in a death for the Luna. So lanes weren't going very well, and then first blood goes to LSE. Does not really help matters a whole lot.
the Spirit Breaker is not accomplishing much bottom. I think it's time that he needs to start trying to rotate because he needs to at least try because they're not really doing anything bottom at this point.
Yeah, either that, okay, and he, as you say that, he is going to charge up on Tar here. He's coming into the mid lane. The CM's there as well. So there's going to be the charge. Frostbite's going to come. They don't have the damage for this, though. They need the Ember Spirit to be here. I mean, they did decent damage, but they needed the chains. Oh, Tar accidentally TPs to the tower he's standing next to. Hate when that happens. So wasted TP there, but does get the Tango and stays in the lane. Now that Vigorous is here, they might be able to do something again. The Spearbreaker does have a charge up, so tower's gonna fall low. Are they gonna? They don't have a shrine. They let the tower die. This charge is coming through, but this is too late. I don't think. Ugh. 3 remnants come in. They do almost no damage thanks to the mana shield here. Now the bash is gonna come through, so they will get the kill there. They do lose a tower for it. I mean, I guess you need the gold. They got a lot of gold there. That's actually a pretty large exchange. But the tower does go down for NoUR in the mid lane. So go ahead and switch over to net worth here for the first time. You can see that 4 of the top 5 are all LSC heroes. Which 8 minutes in isn't the hugest of deals, but it doesn't bode well for things as they go into the long term. So Luna's going Helm of the Dominator. After all the nerfs to this item, do you think that it's worth picking up anymore? Ooh, and as I say that, Maniac's going to get frost blasted and harassed backwards.
I think it's, I don't know.
On the bottom lane now, Aegisworn's frostbit up.
Boots.
Remnant in. Oh, the 2 chains land on both heroes this time. Now Ziggy's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to time walk forward, and he's going to get free. Oh, the charge now underneath the tower. He does have a Chronosphere available if he wants to use it, but he does not. He actually started to use it, but then got bashed. Anyway, you were saying, Maniac?
I'm just saying it was kind of odd that he's started to build this this helm and he hasn't even picked up boots yet. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, hasn't finished the Aquila either. So, and that change, there is the change with the slippers, the side shot, but he was gonna have to pick up the recipe anyway. So he just, it kind of feels like he's like between items with the headdress and the Aquila and the no boots, and feels indecisive almost. I just think that with the recent nerfs to the helm, that's probably not the choice anymore. I think maybe better to go back to the old like morbid mask setup and just if you want to farm. So now Maniac's in the top lane, going to throw a Lucent Beam out on Sheepy. Sheepy's going to reply with the Ice Blast, and then the Impale comes in here. Spirits come in. Here comes the Chains. Down goes the Lich. Vigorous slowed up, though. Cannot get the kill onto the Slaughter. Oh, he does. Oh, the Silencer actually gets that, so okay. Silencer picks up a double kill there. I thought that the Ember Spirit picked the first one up, but no. Now Aegisworn in the middle of things does have Mana Boots picked up, but if he stays here, do they have a Remnant forward? He does, but does not elect to use it. So a 2-for-1 there, and now things are starting to do. I mean, they're starting to look pretty good here, right? NoUR starting to fight. They're getting some kills, but they still are behind in net worth. I think they need to continue to do this.
Yeah, these kills are definitely what they need to put themselves or keep themselves in these games after such a poor laning stage and pretty much losing all 3 lanes. So I think it's good for them to use this rotation and rotating power they have with the Remnants and the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, early pressure definitely the name of the game for NoUR. They've done a fairly decent job of it in the last couple minutes, but I think they need to keep it up, and the charge is here onto Sheepy. It's going to get pinged out. They have a ward on the top shrine there, and he's going to cancel that out as there are 4 heroes in the top lane here for LSC. Ping's coming out here for Vigorous. I think he thinks there's like a ward on the back line there, but there is not one. It's actually right there. So in the meantime, CM is getting some solo experience down here, trying to get to level 6. Looks like going to go Glimmer Cape first item, so I like that pickup. It is definitely quite a ways off, but it's a good support item for the CM to pick up. So the
Faceless is going for an early Sange, which is kind of an interesting choice.
Who's going for the early Sange?
The Void.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I do like S and Y now. I think it's been buffed enough that it's actually pretty decent. Especially on heroes like the Faceless Void who need the attack speed to get those bashes. He's going for tankiness because he doesn't want to get caught by these ganks, and he is actually maybe in some trouble here. CM's here, and Spearbreaker is on the way. And he's going to check out this camp and not going to be there. He is going to get stunned up here. There is no ult available. The Ice Blast comes out. Oh, nice ult for the Lich comes out. The silence is too late. The CM is gonna fall. The time walk forward here from Ziggity. He's gonna pick up that kill as well. So a 2-0. Now the Ember's in some trouble. He's stunned up, double stunned, and hexed. The nice chains come out here onto 2, but the time walk forward, 1 hit. Can he get another hit? Oh, he's actually gonna use the chrono. I thought he was just gonna wait another 2 seconds for the time walk, but didn't want to take the chance that Ember was gonna be able to get away there. So 3-0 there. As a 3-1, I guess. The Lich died. Where did he die? Oh, he must have died up on this cliff here when I moved away. And that's kind of what you're talking about with the silencer, right? If you don't time that ult perfectly, like, it's not really much use. And it came out after the Lich ult, and as I say, the charge coming forward. Oh, unfortunate on the time walk, I feel. The ult is there now. Oh, nice blink in from Snapped. He gets the stun and the crush, and now the CM's going to throw the ult out, try to get that. The Slardar is going to die here thanks to the Ember coming in. Now Ziggity's going to die as well. I thought maybe that Slardar was going to be able to turn that around, but oh, the Luna's here as well, and Aegis Warren's going to go down. So just when LSE feels comfortable and they win a fight, they go ahead and promptly lose one, and that's a big swing there. Holy cow, 1,700 gold going the way of NoUR.
I think Lemon Snow Cones just need to avoid fights for right now and just punish them when they do things like chase them up the hill like they did before, and not try to go in on those fights like that. And just wait for the Dusa to get some farm on her.
Tar in the mid lane. He's got a long TP into the bottom lane here. Oh, it just gets off before the Spirit Breaker gets there. So now that there are 3 bottom for LSC, 4 bot for NoUR, it looks like we might have another fight here. They're going to Shrine up. Ember Spirit needs some mana. So the Shrine does come out here for NoUR. They are all pretty much gathered up here. The Luna is off in the mid lane farming up. That's pretty much what she needs to be doing. The other 4 should fight, and she should be farming. So the CM's kind of heading off to the neutral camp there. Spearbreaker is going to charge in the middle of things there. He is just yelling it up. Silence does come out, but they don't have a Void ult right now, so probably a little bit misplaced there. As it now the Lich ult is going to come out into the middle of things and bounce between the heroes. The Tar's ult comes out as well. Vigorous may be in a little bit of trouble, and he's going to get killed. A little bit of overextension as the CM was not in position. The Silencer ult was not put in the right place, and now Silencer's going to pay for that probably as Hex comes out on the CM to end her ult. Sheepy gets a double kill. Blink forward from Slaughter into the trees, it looked like. He's going to have to try to weasel his way around. CM's going to throw out a blast. Ooh, a Lich Blast in return there. Is he going to follow up? Yeah, okay. He's going to back up now.
Sadly, Medusa didn't have quite enough for that snake, because that definitely would have been enough to finish her off there.
Yeah, felt just kind of like maybe a little bit of mist. Ooh, Sheepy may be in a little bit of trouble as they're going to come in here. The charge is coming out. It is going to connect. They don't have an ult on the Spear Breaker, but they do have some skills on the Ember, but they know that LSE is just up the hill. There's a shrine there. Not worth it. And look at that. Efficiency. 5 heroes in that shrine. That is the definition of efficiency right there. In the top lane here, Maniac's hoping to get a tower kill. Does have the Helm of the Dominator pickup. Doesn't have a creep, though. Teleport going to come up into the top lane. Blink forward. Crush line's coming here as well. TP's going to be pretty long. Not going to be able to get in there in time.
I don't know. I think if Slardar would have continued on and maybe got like 1 bash, they could have got her, because Lina's coming in with both his stuns and his ult. So I think they could have pressed on that and got her.
So it is 8-10 right now, 17 minutes in. Let's go ahead and look at net worth chart for the first time. We get a 4K lead for LSC, and XP is about 7,500. So definitely the early game going the way of LSC, which is definitely not what NoUR wants. There is a charge coming in onto the Slardar, who recognizes that he's probably in some trouble. Does have a blink, sprints back into the tower, blinks sideways there. Lich Blast comes in there. Now the Silencer ult comes out as well. Oh, Slardar went back in. The chains catch him, and then he gets Lucent beamed down. So 2 heroes going to die for LSC. Bit of a misplay there. Slardar got save your buddy syndrome and tried to run back there and help out his friend and died for the cause. Oh, nice 3-man impale. Look at the snake damage coming out there, and then the lion ult to finish off the Spirit Breaker. Probably not the target that you want with that, but it was the closest available target, so a nice little influx of gold there for Aegis 1.
He's diving pretty far. Uses the chrono.
Does use the chrono and is going to get the kill on the Crystal Maiden, and the Sanjay and Yasha is up on him. I know in the past we've seen him build Echo Saber quite a bit, so I wonder if that might be a pick, or if he's going to go like just Manta to get rid of that Silencer ult, or even BKB would be good in this game. Charge is up on him, but he's going to run back to the tower. He recognizes what's going on. And it will be promptly canceled.
Looks like he's opting for the Maelstrom next. Which is good. Gives more damage, more farm, gets those procs going.
And they don't really have like a team for NoUR that wants to pick up like magic resistance. So like they will have the Glimmer Cape as this D ward comes out here. They will have the Glimmer Cape. Luna's probably not going to buy a BKB for at least another item. Like I would assume that she's probably going to try to get like a Yasha bare minimum before she goes into BKB. And she's actually going to go for the Dragon Lance, which is kind of late. Like this is the problem with the new Helm of the Dominator. It's so expensive that she's 20 minutes in and doesn't have anywhere remotely close to what she needs to have to really fight or sustain a lot of farm. So, I mean, she's at least 1-2 items away from BKB. Maelstrom's a really good pickup, and then they're going to have 2 of them. I'd kind of like to see, and this is kind of odd, but I'd kind of like to see a Veil pickup from the Lich. Like with the Maelstrom damage, plus the Lich ult damage, and the Lion spells, I think that'd be really good. Charge come in here on Tar. He does have an ult available. Triple Spirits in here. The Luna ult's going to go off as well. A double kill, a triple kill comes out for the Luna. Beautiful ult comes out there. Buyback on Ziggity as they're chasing Sheepy into the fountain here. Now Ziggity's going to come forward. He wants to throw the ult in the perfect spot, but not going to find it right now. Vigor's going to root him up with the chains. He's going to have to throw that up defensively now if he wants to live even. Leaps forward and now gets 4 heroes as they walk into it. The Spearbreaker somehow gets out of that. I don't know if he got like bumped out or what. Ziggity's going to have to run in the meantime now. Demon Moose here, the Spearbreaker, trying to run away as Aegis Warren throws the ult on him. If he can get a stun through the trees, no, he's going to stun the Luna, and he's in all kinds of trouble here as he is going to die most likely. The Creep's chasing him in there. Ziggity's going to throw out a time dilation, which, I don't know, somehow Aegis Warren gets away from that. So it was 3 for 1 there on the side for NoUR.
It was a good chrono. They just didn't really have anything at that point to follow it up with. Didn't have any damage to put in there to help.
And it required the buyback to get there. So like Tar, who's basically their damage was already dead. Sheepy's ult was already down. Like you said, not really anything to pump into that. So Shrine up from NoUR, and then they smoke, and they're going to immediately come back into this thing. And Ziggity is maybe in a little bit of trouble here as the charge comes out on him. They do have multiple roots here on the side of NoUR. The time dilation is going to connect with 2. The Lucent Beam is going to do that. Now the Silencer ult's going to come out there. Don't want him to get away. I don't think he really had much of a chance of that anyway, but they used it anyway. So also interesting item choices that we're talking about here is the Ember Spirit's going straight from Veil into the Radiance. Oh, the ult from the Sheepy gets a little too little too ballsy there. He throws out an Ice Blast and dies for his trouble. Snapped an Aegis Warren. Tried to put a little delay on that, but nothing doing there. In the meantime, Tar is in the mid lane. He's got illusions banging on this mid tier 2 tower. So this is a pretty close game. At least it feels pretty close if we look at these graphs. Yeah, look at that. Holy cow. Net worth dipped it down to under probably about 1,000 and experience sitting at about 3-4. So NoUR doing a really good job of bringing this back. I thought they needed to win this in the early game in order to kind of snowball out of control, but turns out their team fight is pretty good, even from behind.
And that triple kill really helped Maniac on Luna catch up on his farm. He's got his Dragon Lance and almost a Yasha now.
Yeah, he's going to go straight into the Manta before he thinks about BKB even. And if you're winning fights at this point, why not? But a couple minutes ago, I was skeptical, but then you get a nice triple kill, like you said, and the game changes. So, is this the game that you get the Ags on the Luna?
That's where you can position it, right?
Yeah, and it gets like the multiple beams and stuff. I don't think it is. I think that it's good situationally, but I don't think you have enough right-click damage outside of the Luna. Because the Ember Spirit's building magic damage with the Radiance, which is still quite a ways off. Silencer is building towards damage-ish. I don't really know what he's doing. He's got one Oblivion Staff, and now he's going 4 Staff. Or he's got a 4 Staff in the thing.
He bought the Oblivion Staff, and then I guess he decided he didn't want to go for that Orchid and just switched over to 4 Staff. Maybe we'll see him go back for that Orchid now.
Yeah, he's probably just feeling that he can't position himself quickly enough, and so he needs the ability to get into fights or to save his allies, and then he can go for the Orchid. So Char's going to come out as they are smoked up here. They're going to go on to Aegis Warren here. Snapped in the middle of things. Does kind of do a mini blink. The triple remnant in here. The silence followed by the root. Now Ziggity may be in a little bit of trouble as he tries to TP in. Oh, the bat. A nice ult comes out from Demon Moose. Times that perfectly with the end of the silence, and he dies as well. So it just feels like LSC maybe not communicating to the best of their ability right now as they kind of all, I think that's, again, save your buddy syndrome. He thought maybe we could TP in there, but they had just TP'd to that tower, so it was a long teleport. The silence comes out. They just kind of got banged up. Now they're going in 3-on-5 here as Tar does have the ult. Hex going to come out onto the Ember Spirit. He is doing a lot of damage here to this guy, but now the Luna ult comes out, and Tar's taking a lot of it. He is going to get a double kill, and the stun's coming out now. Maniac's in some trouble, but Tar's going to die as well. There was a lot of very low heroes for the Dire, but that's what happens when you go in 3-on-5, is it's just so hard to win that. Tar basically tanked the entire Luna ult and still almost killed the entire team. Now Sheepy's going to get stunned up, and Demon Moose starting to get on a little bit of a rampage. 5, 4, and 15 after having very little impact in the early game. And so Silencer's actually not going back for the Orchid. He's going to pick up Rod of Atos. So I just casual Oblivion Staff, I guess. It's kind of odd, but
it gives him some mana regen and some good stats.
Something else we should point out. He's got 32 stolen intelligence already. Like that is very good. I mean, he's 7-1 and 14 right now. I did not realize that he was doing as well as he is doing. So kind of a sneaky pickup there. Like I kind of would like to see the Orchid just for the attack speed. Maybe even finish up the Dragon Lance. Like this guy is going to be hitting like a truck here pretty soon because of all the int he's stealing.
Yeah, it's surprising how well he's doing after just supporting that Luna.
Yeah, earlier in the game, LSC had 4 of the top 5 net worths. Now they still have 2 of the top 5, but their supports and offlaner have dropped down very low. The Crystal Maiden is the typical, like, I'm never going to buy an item ever. I'm just buying wards and throwing stuns down hero. So she's not really caring that much about being this poor. She has, like, the one item that she probably needs. But the other heroes, the Slardar especially, has definitely been kind of struggling after that early blink pickup.
I think Lemon Snow Cones need to do what NoUR is doing and smoke up and try to go get a good chrono with that Lich ult and their
This
blinks
could be a dangerous smoke as they're going up the ramp here. They are going to get spotted out. Sheepy's in the middle of things here. The Remnant forward does come out. The stun from the Lion followed by a blink out. So it's going to be one kill. I mean, if you're LSE, you're probably okay with that being the kill that the smoke gets. Ziggity, maybe Ziggy's definitely in some trouble. 40 seconds out. Are they going to search this out, or are they just assuming that he has a teleport? Oh, if they search, he's so dead. But they're just assuming that he doesn't have a TP, or that he had a TP and that he got out. Oh, that's very, very fortunate for LSC. So I don't know if he's getting out of that. Maniac throws the illusions out, but they're immediately killed by the Tar. Tar's going to have to throw out the ult as Alliance is getting killed. Demon Moose on a killing spree here now. Vigorous in a lot of trouble, taking a ton of damage here in the middle of things but that tower. So he is dead now. Chronosphere comes out onto 3, but the Luna ult is just going to town onto Tar and Ziggity. Oh my god, that Luna ult. There were no creeps there, just 3 heroes. And oh, the Eclipse just cleans house there.
Yeah, that's sad because if you would have positioned that,
oh, now
slightly
Sheepy's in some
different, it
trouble.
would've got him, and would have got that Luna in there. It would have stopped it, and Luna's low, so they could have killed her. So if that Chrono was just over a little more and caught her, that could have gone very differently.
So we talked about the snowball effect, and looking at the charts again, you can see it goes from about 5k net worth in favor of LSC to now about 2 in favor of NoUR, and you go from about 7,500 XP to about 5k XP. So these heroes, they're good at fighting. I don't think they have any more smokes available to them, though. So that, I don't know, you can't really tell anymore. You used to be able to click on their shop and tell, but I don't see any on their heroes. I think they're out for a while.
Yeah, I think they'd be out because they did quite a few in a row. So.
They might have 1 in shop. They've used at least 3. 1 might have refreshed by now, or will refresh in like 10 seconds. So now LSC, they're kind of grouped up here. They've got 4 into the mid lane. Hurricane Pike is finished up on Tar. 4 staff up on the Slardar. So they've got a lot of very good positioning items here. Going to be able to help their team out a lot. So Ziggity's going for the Manta. Going to disassemble that SNY. I don't know.
I just think that they need to group up with the smoke, and when they see someone from NoUR somewhere, to smoke up and go get some kills, because if they keep just waiting and letting the NoUR do that to them, it's not going to go well.
Especially because Ember doesn't even have his Radiance yet. I mean, I think we're kind of like underestimating the power that this NoUR team can have, because honestly, he's not doing a whole lot in these fights right now. Like, he's the second poorest hero on the Dire, had a very tough mid lane. I'm not really sure about the itemization. Going straight into that Radiance, I think getting like Boots of Travel and trying to farm up if you want to do that, something like that's going to be a little bit easier, but he's been kind of roaming around here. They do have a smoke. They're gonna go right into the smoke of Tar is gonna be revealed here. Now the entire Dire team's gonna be revealed. Snaps actually blinks forward, and a 1-man Lich ult comes out there on the side. We've got a 2-man Chronosphere, so 2 separate fights coming out here as Tar's doing a lot of damage. The Silencer is gonna come out now. The Silencer is gonna die. The CM's gonna die. So it's 4 dead from UR. Somehow Tar's got a triple kill in the middle of this thing, and now Maniac's in a ton of trouble as they need a time walk forward here from Ziggity. Is he gonna get it? Oh, a nice Maelstrom proc as an ultra kill comes out from Tar. I have no idea how they just won that fight that well, as things were so split up. Just Tar is just doing a ridiculous amount of damage. His ult was, even though the other 2 ults were kind of split out there. Let's look at the damage here. Yeah, look at that. Holy cow. 4,400 of the damage coming out there, so well over half the damage for LSC coming from Tar. And again, look at the Ember. 547 damage is all that he ended up doing in that. Like, it's the problem with this Radiance buildup is that it's if you don't get it in time, you're just not doing much. And
yeah, at this point, all he's really good for is those triple remnants that he's thrown out there, and then he's searing chains. That's kind of all he's doing at this point.
And it kind of feels like a lot of the triple remnants aren't quite hitting because it doesn't seem like he's doing the slight chains into them. But I could be just misseeing that too. But you want to talk about a back and forth game as we can take a quick look at the charts there. Things just swinging back and forth either direction. Tar has finished up Scotty now, so he was doing a lot before and was tanky before. He's going to be even tankier and doing even more damage now. Looks like he's going to pick up a Manta style next. I don't know. Do you think this is a Manta game, or do you think they should just pick up BKBs at this point?
For LSC?
Yeah.
Kind of think the Mantas get you... Do they get you out of Silencer ult?
They get you out of the Silencer ult, but it's not going to stop any of the Lucent Beam damage, which is really what's killing them. It's not going to get you out of the Crystal Maiden ult damage, or the Ember Spirit Radiance burn and damage when that eventually comes out. I feel that like it's really good for getting rid of the Silencer ult, but not much else.
I think they're all right because, especially
if
they're
going to start a fight here as the
charge
charge is going to come in here. Triple Remnant connects on two heroes, then Ziggity goes down almost instantly. So beautiful coordination there as the silence perfectly timed, and LSC is going to be forced to back up. Aegisworn TPing out in the middle of things here. Ooh, charge is going to available. It is going to go out onto Sheepy. He is going to get pinged out here, so one more death is going to follow, most likely. The Lich ult is going to come out and is going to bounce between two heroes and does quite a bit of bouncing, but not in the realm of killing anybody. So a nice 3 for nil there for NoUR. I was going to say that would prove my point, but I don't think it would have mattered. Ziggity had time to push the button there on the BKB. So that was a very well executed gank by NoUR. And you can kind of see like the vision is kind of what I question. Like, both teams have vision mostly on their side of the map. As you can see, like, this area is pretty much the Dire wards, and then you've got like this area coming out here for Radiant, and then both teams have wards in the jungle there, but they're both about to expire.
Spirit Breaker's almost got a scepter up now.
How do you
know for defusal?
How do you feel about that? That's
the
AoE stun on the ult. I mean,
it's pretty small AoE, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think I would rather see like a Silver Edge or a Mask of Madness or a BKB.
And they don't really have great like setup for that either, because they don't have anyone like a Magnus who can RP them all together to get the big ult, or even an Enigma that pulls them towards each other. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be kind of difficult to get a multi-hero.
They're going to go on to Tar here as the charge has been picked up. No, and he has canceled it. So, Mjolnir finished up on Tar. Now he's going to go Manta. Honestly, I'd kind of like to see a Lincoln's on him even. Like, I think Lincoln's BKB and Tar is unkillable. Like, instead of the Manta. Because then he can't get charged, he can't get frostbit, or he gets one or the other. I don't know. Instead, he's going to go for damage potential here. And he is kind of the team's only like straight right-click damage. Ziggity does have Manta. I'm going to be interested to see what he decides to do with that Sange. If he decides to make it into like a halberd, or if he wants to do something like... I don't know.
I think a halberd would be good because they did decrease the cooldown on that, and it's really good to put on that Luna, who's, as we go, is putting out more and more damage. So
And like you said, she went Diffusal Blade, which is a pretty interesting pickup. You know, I understand why she did it. They don't really, like, they need it for the Medusa. She's not the best carrier for one as we watch LSC smoke up and head maybe towards the Roshan pit here.
So does the Diffusal
This
hit...
could be dangerous.
It only count as a... Does it only take mana on the first initial hit?
Yes. So it acts just like Mjolnir and Scotty. So it'll apply the effect on the first hit, but not on the bounces. So they
don't know this is going on.
do a scan. They NoUR temporarily walks into it, but then they walk out. Crystal Main's going to walk into the pit here. She's going to die instantly. Yep, they are in the pit, and they have Roshan as Tar is now immortal. And they're a hero down on NoUR. So what are they going to decide to do? They're going to go straight up the mid here. They do have 2 tier 2s on the off lanes, which are pretty pushed out for NoUR. So from that perspective, things could definitely be worse for NoUR. I thought that was kind of a risky Roshan because the lanes were kind of pushed out and because NoUR was actually in a really good position to defend it, but because they don't have any kind of aggressive sight, they didn't know where the LSC team was, and so LSC was free to take that. Normally, if you have even one deep ward there so you can see, hey, there's nobody defending these lanes, there's nobody farming jungle, there's nobody like doing anything on their side of the map, you're like, oh crap, Roshan. But when you don't have sight, that's kind of what happens, is you're able to sneak into that. So now they're going to go for this bottom lane, and NoUR is setting up to defend. The Silencer is not in position to do this. They are going to have to give up this tower. The CM now, Tar four-staffs his way in, but then he gets charged up. The Chronosphere not going to come because of a nice silence, but now the Manta and the Chronosphere, which connects with 3 heroes, but somehow doesn't hit Tar. In the middle of things, Maniac's got his ult coming off. He's going to pop once. Vigorous on a killing spree in the meantime does have the Radiance up now. The Lich ult's going to bounce in between things here. Tar is now respawned, and he is going to try to go head-to-head here with the team as the Luna does die here. Spiritbreaker charges into the middle of things here. He's going to get stunned up, and then ulted Root comes out now onto the Spiritbreaker. Spiritbreaker's going to die. Silence is probably going to die too as the time walk goes forward. Now Vigorous gets stunned on the first hit, and he's going to die as well. So you've got 1 plus the Aegis for the 4 heroes of NoUR, and now CM running for her life here from Sheepy. Does use the Glimmer Cape and is able to get away.
I did not think that fight was going to go that well for him after the start of that, but Tar came back with the Aegis and just started pumping out a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it even probably could have gone worse. Like, if Ziggity wouldn't have almost perfectly placed that Chronosphere, like, Tar was not in that. Like, if he gets hit with that, like, he dies without doing, like, any damage the first time around. Things go much worse. Charge now in on Tar. Maybe they've overstayed their welcome. Lich ult's going to connect only on 1 hero now. The ult comes out from the Spirit Breaker. The Lich ult's now, or the Medusa ult's going to come out here. It's going to stun 2 heroes. Tar's actually going to stay into the middle of this and try to fight. Lucent Beam comes out. The stun comes out from the Aegis Warren to protect the carry. Well, essentially the carry at this point in the game, and now they're going to be able to back up freely. So a pretty decent defense, all things considered. They get a tier 3 tower. Shrines are going to be able to be killed now, but they don't lose the racks. Ziggity is getting charged here. He is relatively low. Has a Manta style and a Time Walk. He's going to Time Walk away. Doesn't have the mana for an ultimate. Ooh, that is actually a pretty huge mistake right there. 719 gold going the way of Demon Moose. That charge like instantly killed those illusions as he ran through it. A little bit greedy there pushing out that lane, but in the grand scheme of things as this game is going, 10k net worth for LSC and about 5k experience. So it's still relatively close, but they have kind of taken somewhat control of the game. Ooh, Vigorous was looking for something, but Tar manages to sneak his way out.
So how do you feel about this Ember going Octarine next? Because usually when you see like this Veil build, you're seeing like a Maelstrom with it.
Yeah.
Do you think he needs that Maelstrom to do some extra magic damage, or do you think the Octarine is going to be good?
I think Octarine is good. I think he needed to get the Mael like a long time ago. And honestly, his charge comes in here onto Tar. Tar does have an ult available, but he's going to get silenced up. He is chained as well, but the Force Staff comes out. Now the Spear Breaker ult is going to connect on things. Everybody's taking damage from the CM ult on the very fringe of it. Lion Impale is going to connect onto 2 heroes. Oh, actually gets the Spear Breaker kill there, thanks to the ult. Aether Lens amp damage probably for the win there. They do lose a tier 2 tower and the Slardar, but they get a kill in return. I think the Maelstrom was probably the item that I forgot earlier when I was saying that he should get something before the Radiance. I thought Boots of Travel was an item, but Maelstrom is definitely the item. Like that should be second item after the Veil. Like the Veil comes out, Maelstrom, then you got Boots, then you get Radiance, then you get Octarine. But maybe something's changed with the way that the talent trees are working. I don't think so though. So he's got spell amp, stats, flame guard absorption. Yeah, I think the Maelstrom is a must pickup for the Ember Spirit, but he has elected to not to in this game. So it looks like Pipe is going to be the pickup here for Lion. Interesting. In the mid-time, Tar's going to get charged up, and then he's going to be like, that's okay. I'll throw a bunch of auto attacks at you. But now the team is coming. He's going to Force Staff forward as the Snake trails in there to give him more mana. His team wasn't too far off, but...
Siggity is choosing to go for that halberd. He can buy it right now. Has yet to buy it.
Looks like NoUR is gathered up and ready for a smoke again. It is sitting on Vigorous. Not the hero that you would normally think about picking up the smoke, but...
Oh wow, Luna's got a Satanic. I didn't see that. I think that'll help her a lot.
Yeah, being able to just go toe-to-toe with that Medusa is going to be nice. I almost think that she should probably consider upgrading this Diffusal Blade. I know she hasn't used the charges, but the upgraded damage and mana burn that comes out of it is definitely going to be worth it. Like and it's almost certainly better than anything else she's going to be able to get. NoUR are smoked up. They were hoping to catch Ziggity, I think, and he's like kind of trailing behind them here, maybe in a little bit of trouble. Nope, they're going to charge instead onto the mid lane here as the supports are all alone, and they like just explode. Now Tar's in the middle of things. He's the one that got charged, and then he got ulted up. His ult is going to come out now. Snapped is going to jump in with the stun. Nice crush. Nice Chronosphere comes out onto 2 heroes here. They're just ignoring the Crystal Maiden, hoping to get Vigorous here. The Bash comes out, but Ziggity's going to die. Tar's still alive in the middle of things here, going to town on everybody, and he's actually going to just kill. Everybody's got a triple kill. Now he wants to go with the Silencer. If CM's not careful, she's going to die too. One more attack, probably going to do it here, as he's going to get an Ultra kill. He was a Glimmer Cape away from getting a Rampage right there. There is just nothing that they can do against this Medusa at this point, as Luna did like no damage in that fight. She used the Eclipse and everything too. Like she just, what did she die to?
Even with that Satanic, she just still couldn't stand there and fight.
She must have just got frozen up. Like I didn't actually see. It doesn't look like she used the Satanic actually. It looks like she must have gotten crushed through it or something. Because it doesn't even look like she used it. But then I have to wonder if some BKBs on either team would kind of help out here. There's so much stun and magic damage on both teams that it feels like that's the item that some of these cores need to pick up, and everybody's just kind of ignoring it. Top lane is pushing in here. Could potentially be the last of the tier 2s as Cardi is chugging along here. One more attack from the cart, and yeah, that's gone. So all outer towers are now gone. There's a tier 3 gone for NoUR. LSC, if they want to be safe, they can just kind of wait for Roshan, who's the timer here is going to show up in about a minute. And they can do shrines, kill Roche. I mean, I think this top shrine has got to be a target next. Like, you kill that thing, it makes Roche so much easier as the Radiant. Yeah,
So do you think this Medusa goes to MKB next, just so that if that Ember's nearby, she can still pump out her full damage?
I honestly don't even know if she needs to like worry about that. Like, I still think BKB is the item. Like, she's got 2 sets of boots right now. Like, you could probably sell those. You got 5k gold. Like, there's really no reason to be carrying that around. Like, you could sell the phase boots and buy BKB straight up right now. You could sell the phase boots and buy a moon shard right now. Like, that would, I think that would be better.
BKB moon shard. If he gets BKB moon shard, I think there's pretty much nothing NoUR can do.
And Roche has respawned. Yeah, if he gets BKB and just puts his boots of travel. Oh, Crush's gonna come out here on the poor little CM if she dies instantly. But BKB Moonshard, Aegis, throw your Boots of Travel into your stash and just kind of waddle your way from place to place. Who cares about move speed when you're unkillable? And there's a haste there even, so look at that. But instead, just going to save the gold. I think maybe a mistake. I mean, you're so far ahead right now. You've got Aegis. You don't need to worry about buyback. You could potentially just win the game with one more fight. You might as well just buy out.
Yeah, I think he just puts Moonshard on him right here.
Let's head into the bottom lane.
He puts Moonshard on him, even if he's got Aegis, and even if people try to stand up there with how much damage he's putting out, and plus his skill tree gives him that 25% lifesteal, I don't think there's anything they could do with that attack speed and damage.
And NoUR is kind of relegated to quivering afraid in their base. Like, they're moving his 5 to like kill one creep wave in the mid lane. They definitely see that. Oh no, they don't see that LSC's down here because they have smoked up out of vision, and now they're going to head into the mid lane here. A sentry ward is placed down by the Crystal Maiden, but that's not going to detect the smoke. I'm worried about the courier giving things away there, as Aegis Warren had some wards coming in there.
It's kind of a strange smoke because they smoked on by where their tier 1 was.
Yeah, I think what they were hoping is they could see NoUR like in the front of their base there, and they were hoping that they would continue to push forward, and so you could just kind of go in through the backside there and wrap around on them. But NoUR was a little too hesitant to do that, and now they're going to move out as 5 here. They are going to see Aegis Warren. Lucent Beam's going to come out into the charge, and yeah, goodbye Aegis Warren. You can now go to hell and back and hell and back and hell and back and however many times Lion says that. So again, if LSC is feeling a little bit afraid, they could kill shrines if they want to, but instead they're just kind of hanging out. It looks like Butterfly is going to be the item of choice here for Tar. Does have enough gold for it and buyback.
It's kind of an interesting choice since he already has evasion on his skill tree.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. It does provide good damage and armor from the straight agility, but like you said, a lot of times you get Butterfly for the heaps of evasion that you get, and you could get better damage from other items. Like even MKB would give better damage, just so that you're getting those true sight attacks, like you said. Honestly, kind of an item that I think that is underbought would be the Bloodthorn. I think that could be potentially a really good item for Tar as well. If you can get the Luna to use her Manta because she doesn't have BKB, if you could Bloodthorn her afterwards, then it doesn't matter if she has Satanic. She's just gonna melt. But it's not a bad item choice, I don't think. It's kind of weird that he's got it in his stash. I think that putting it on your hero over the boots is definitely something that needs to happen right now. Like, you're not teleporting anywhere, right? And you don't really need the attack speed. Like, you're Medusa. That's why you've got Hurricane Pike, is so you can reposition yourself. That's why Snapped has a Force Staff. Like, you don't need the move speed here, but that damage is just being wasted in your inventory right now. The charge is going to come through here. The silence connects. Nice charge through the middle of Tar there. He's basically just going to waste this Aegis the first time through. CM's in the middle of things here. The Lich Ult is going to come out. A nice two-man Chrono is going to come out right on top of where Tar respawned those. Tar's actually taking a ton of damage here from the silence there, but Ziggity's there as well. So Charizard Aegis Warren coming out from Spirit Breaker now. Spirit Breaker may be in a little bit of trouble as Tar has thrown his ultimate out. Impale's going to connect. Ember Spirit in the middle of things does get stone formed, and then, oh goodness. Ziggity gets a double kill. Sheepy gets a double kill. Tar cleans up the last hit kill. And 4 buybacks come out from NoUR. LSE, if they stick around here, they're definitely going to die. They are all very low. And they recognize that that is a battle easily won there. Oh my goodness. 6K gold swing with all the buybacks. And so you win one more fight, you win the game. Sheepy is going to get charged up, poor guy. Oh, actually, stuns come out here onto the Spirit Breaker. Ziggity's wants this kill. He's got a time dilation. Sheepy does die to the Ember Spirit, and now they recognize that they need to just leave. And they do so quickly.
Medusa eats a moon shard. So.
Yeah, I feel that Aegis was wasted because Tar was like, well, I have Butterfly in my inventory, and I need to get it out of my inventory. You know, that's just kind of what it felt like. Maybe that's not what was actually thinking, but again, I just feel that if you have that Butterfly there, like, you're going to be more survivable, you're going to do more damage, you're going to get better use out of that Aegis. I don't know. That said,
This Ember is still working on that Octarine. Only has the Mystic Staff for it.
And this is the problem with the non-Maelstrom build. He has no he's got no real farming capability. His damage is decent, right? He's 105 plus 71, so his damage is pretty decent. But he just doesn't have flash farm capability with this build, because in order to flash farm, he's going to have to use Sleight of Fist, which he doesn't have. Cleave, he doesn't have Maelstrom, so that's not really going to provide a whole lot either. So it's just really hard going, and then on top of that, he's died a decent amount. So it's kind of tough to get to farm those big items when you don't really have the items to farm.
So do you think Medusa just sits and saves, or do you think she gets rid of maybe the Hurricane Pike or something and puts MKB or BKB or something there?
I think most likely she sits and saves, but I wouldn't get rid of the Hurricane. I'd get rid of the boots. Honestly,
just toss the boots into the backpack.
Yeah, just toss your boots in your backpack. The only time you really need those boots is when you're actually trying to teleport. You can use Flutter to get from place to place. That's pretty decent. I think buying a AC or MKB, something like that, would be really good. Heck, even a Lincoln's or a BKB. Vigorous as Smoke actually gets popped by Ziggity, but they run right by him into the Slaughter. A two-man Crush going to connect as well. Lich Ult's going to bounce down between. The Silencer Ult does come out, and Slaughter is going to get charged up. The Eclipse is going to come out as well, and it's not really seeming to do a whole lot as the Luna does die almost instantly there, and this is just the GG as 5 are down. Again, Satanic didn't even get used in that fight, so GG, well played, does come out here towards the end of this game. 55 minutes. It was very back and forth at the beginning, but after about 35 minutes, it was pretty much all LSC. Final thoughts, Maniac? Who stood out to you?
Definitely the MVP in that, because he pretty much was carrying the team there, pumping out all the damage. They'd go 4-on-1 on him, and he'd still get 3 kills. I think Tar just played really well throughout that game.
I would definitely agree. So maybe some sloppy decision making towards the mid game from NoUR, and some weird itemization from both teams, but LSC able to pull out the victory here as we take a look at some of these graphs. All right, guys, so we will be back for Game 2 in just a few moments, so stay tuned for that. I'm Legion 170. He's Maniac. Stick around for Game 2 between NoUR and LSC.
Oh, dire team.
All right, welcome back. I am Legion 170. Maniac, are you there?
I am.
All right, so we are back here for game number 2 between NoUR and Lemon Snow Cones. This is week 4 of season 15 of the under 3K AD2L tournament, and as we switch into the draft here, we see that not much has changed. You know, same.
I was kind of surprised to see Lemon Snow Cones go for keeper instead of just kind of keeping it the same to see if they just picked up the same people.
Yeah, and like we've got the same 6 bands, 3 of the 4 same picks coming out here. So both teams feeling pretty comfortable in what they were doing, and honestly, like NoUR should feel pretty comfortable with the way that the game went because they definitely had an opportunity to win it. It just felt like between itemization and execution, it just didn't quite work out for them. And so now we've got 7 of the same 7 bands from game 1. Can we make it 8? I actually don't remember who 8 was. OD. So, I don't know. So, Keeper of the Light is a really good farming for, and okay, now we have a change here. So they don't want to get Deuced again, which is fair. I don't think with the Keeper pick though that they were going to get Deuced again. I think it's more likely that you're going to get some kind of a split push hero coming out here for LSC. Maybe something like, maybe they pick up the Luna this time around. Or they pick up something like the Ember Spirit would be a good coddle hero as well. We haven't seen Timbersaw, but that would be kind of interesting pickup as well.
Oh, I would like the Luna with the Void because you get a good chrono with those beams bouncing in there and her right click, and it's gonna be pretty damaging.
And it could be one of those things where like you go like the Ags Luna too, so you could pick a mid hero that's got some right click, pick maybe like a Windrunner and a Luna, so that the Luna can go more like utility. Could be an interesting way to go. But Keeper, definitely a spam, like a hero that's going to enable a lot of spam. He's going to enable a lot of split push. So you would like to see heroes that are going to do those things as well. So Zeus could be pretty decent for the mid. I don't know. I don't know what way that LSC wants to do this. It's kind of it feels kind of new. It feels a little bit different. So it's a new twist on an old recipe. They are taking their sweet time here with this third pick, though. I think if they're thinking carry, I think Luna is the pick, and I think you pick it right here just to make sure that NoUR don't get it again. Because Maniac played, after a kind of a rough early game, played catch up really well, and minus maybe needing a BKB or to be able to activate the Satanic a little bit sooner, played really well, I felt.
Yeah, he did. They just, I don't know, they didn't have really a whole lot of other damage, it seemed like.
The Silencer definitely was doing a decent chunk of right-click damage towards the end. Lion picked up here, so they're going to go for a support. They spent a lot of time there to pick a Lion. So just apparently talking about what carry and mid they want to go, and maybe they just didn't come to a conclusion, so they picked the Lion there. And yep, there's the Luna pickup. So if you wanted the Luna, it was gone. So like I said, I don't know if they wanted it or not, but if they did, they definitely wanted to pick it in that spot, not the Lion.
It's kind of funny that they're going almost like both teams are going, well, so far NoUR's gone the same team, and Snowcones have just swapped out one hero.
It's one of those things where you're like, okay, our strategy was like so close to winning. We don't really need to change stuff. We just need to execute better. And to a degree, I would kind of side with that reasoning. Like, they were just a few decisions, a few items away from taking that game. And so the Drow picked up in this game. So we're not going to have a Dusa, but we are going to have a Drow. Pairs reasonably well with the Keeper of Light. Is a pretty decent split pusher. Is kind of fragile. Can do some pretty decent things in the lane with Lion Keeper if they decide to run it that way. So I would expect to see this be like an off-lane Void with a tri-lane, maybe. I would like to see a tri-lane, just because you've got the 3 ranged heroes, you've got stuns and AoE nukes to set it up, so you'd have the ability to kill this Spirit Breaker +1. How does NoUR respond? Probably not the game for Crystal. Yeah, and they're going to go Underlord. I like this pick a lot, actually. We haven't seen much of the Underlord in this tournament, but I still think he is a solid hero, even with some of the nerfs that have come out against him. He's tanky. He provides good AoE stun, good AoE damage. He's got that escape with the teleport. He's got good synergy with most of these heroes, really. I like that pick quite a bit, and that's going to be a tanky off-lane combo. Spirit Breaker plus Underlord, like, even with the tri-lane. I think that immediately makes it so if you're going to tri-lane, you have to aggro tri-lane.
Yeah, and if they aggro a tri-lane that, Luna and Silencer won't be able to do anything, assuming that's going to be the same lane.
Yeah, and I have to believe that it's going to be, unless they're like really going to change it up. Vigorous is the last pick. The Ember is available. It would kind of surprise me if they picked it. It just didn't seem to work very well last game. I think I'd rather see something along the lines of like a push hero, something that's going to provide some right click. I know the hero's not great, but I think Dragon King would be a pretty good pick last for NoUR. Dragon King? Dragon Knight is what I meant to say. I'd like to see Monkey King. I think that's probably where the king came from, but I don't think it's a very good pick here.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe for LSC if they wanted to do something
never
clowny and send Drow mid, but I don't think so. I could see a Wind Ranger pickup for LSC. I think that would be pretty good. Synergize as well with the Drow.
I do like a Wind Ranger.
You could see something crazy too, like Venge carry. So send the Drow mid, have the Venge carry and get that aura stacked up. Again, probably not very likely, but something that you could possibly do. So last bands are the Jug and the Viper. Two heroes that are solid but unspectacular. And Ember Spirit is the pickup, so I'm a little surprised here. I hope that he itemizes better this game, goes for the Maelstrom early.
Kind of interesting that they just swapped out the Crystal Maiden for the Underlord.
Clinks is the last pick here, so mid Clinks here probably from Char. So as you look at lineups, what do you think? Has NoUR changed it enough with the Underlord pickup to find a victory here?
They didn't really. I don't know. I don't think it's that great. It's not that much of a trade-off, but they played it really well. So depending on how this mid Clinks and this new different support go, I think they can just go with what they did last time. But I think I'm yet to predict correctly on one of these games.
No, you predicted the last game correctly, didn't you? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I did.
So as we go into the game, I think Clinks is a really sneaky pick here. If he can get an early Orchid, it's going to be really good against the Ember Spirit, who's going to want to farm. It's going to be really good against the Luna, who's going to be one out farming. So could be a decent pickup here for LSC.
With that Drow damage, that's gonna help a lot with those early pickoffs.
So it's going to be the Tar actually into the mid lane with the Drow. So mid lane Drow with an safe lane Clinks. Lane's pretty much the same here for NoUR. Minus the fact that you have this beastly looking Underlord heading down here. Look at that. He is just terrifying. Oh, hats. Dota hats are the best. We have a little friendly pregame banter as neither team is electing to do anything cheeky. Thought maybe the Clinks would try to steal one. They don't have any sentries, so I mean he could. But nope. So as I look at the lineups, I really think that the early game is going to be very interesting because you have two heroes in the off lane for NoUR that are like incredibly tanky, very hard to kill. But if you get to the mid game, when Clinks is like level 6-7, Drow's like 6-7, and you have that roaming potential, Ember could be in a very precarious situation, as could the safe lane. So I think that while the off lane might not die a lot for NoUR, the other two lanes might suffer a little bit. They don't really have like a hard support. Like they've got the Silencer, who was pretty greedy in the last game, ended up having a lot of farm. They've got the Underlord, who's kind of item dependent. Spirit Breaker is probably the least item dependent hero that they have on NoUR. So they're actually opting for a low ground ward. I don't know if Aegisworn saw that or not. He should have with the ward site there. It's one thing that I'm.
Yeah, they put that last game too.
It's one thing I'm really surprised that we haven't seen any dewarding.
No, I don't think there was like any sentries bought.
I think that last game's I saw Crystal deward one on this spot right here. That's the only deward I saw, and this is 2 games in a row that these 2 wards on the top lane have been placed next to each other. These 2 on the bottom lane have been placed next to each other, and I don't know if like nobody's just seeing them and paying attention. Oh nope, never mind. Look at that, Aegisworn. Right as we're saying that, oh look at that, beautiful, beautiful job. He is gonna get charged up here though. I don't think they can kill him, but they're until he walks back into the creeps. He wants to eat he eats the ward. Probably should have just done that from the beginning. Takes a lot of damage for his trouble, but Demon was actually taking a huge amount of damage as well. Maybe if that Clinks was a teensy more aggressive, they might have been able to actually get that kill. But he does get the D-ward, so all that crow I was feeding out there about not D-warding, now I have to eat it. Mid lane, again, Vigorous is Figures is facing an uphill battle here as he's got boots ferried out to him early. Again, opting to not get regen, so... Again, I have to question that decision a little bit, as it just seems like if you want to stay in the lane against this ranged hero, you're going to need that. Top lane, some harass is going to get thrown out onto Ziggity, but he's just going to kind of shrug it off. He's got plenty of regen. He's got the magic stick as well. So nothing to really worry about in that case. And this is the problem with having tangos on Ember Spirit, is you have to walk all the way back to these trees every time you want to use them. So, yeah. Again, I don't want to harp too much, but it just feels like the boots are not really the pickup here. In the bottom lane here, Demon Moose is taking some harass and going to get some mana leached out of him. Clinks is doing very well. Drow's doing very well. I mean, we're basically in the same setup that we had early on in the last game, to where LSC is farming really well. But like we did see in Game 1, NoUR, even though they do get behind on farm, they do have a very good fighting team. So if they can find the right fights, they can definitely turn around a shaky Earth start.
I think this time around, LSC just needs to be more careful with when their whole team's disappearing off the map. You don't see them farming any of the lands, just assuming that they're going to smoke as much as they can like they did last game.
Ooh, nice Cuddle Blast connects with the Maniac there. It's going to force out the salve, most likely. In the bottom lane, it does look like that Demon Moose and the Underlord are going to have to use the Shrine. And they will. In the mid lane, Tar has Invis. He's going to use it basically instantly to try to kill a creep. Does not actually kill the creep, or that one. Or that one. For shame, Tar. So 3 CS missed there. They push into the tower here. He's got the cart, but I don't know. He's going to get a little bit of damage onto this, but not anything too spectacular. In the top lane, Sheepy's going to try to harass Maniac out of lane. Has opted for 2 points in Chakra, which is not unusual. I would expect to see probably Mana Leak in the next level come out from Sheepy. Oh, we got a Drow siding up into the top lane. Silence going to actually push the Silencer through the trees, but it's not going to save him. As nice job from Sheepy there. Probably could have taken that kill, but saves it for Tar. Might end up dying for his trouble as he's very low. He's going to salve up. There's a Spirit Breaker charging up here. Is he going to continue this? Chugga, 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 chugga. He is going to continue this.
Tar did see him, though.
Yep, he pings it out. They do know that it's coming. He's out in the middle of nowhere. He does have creeps coming. Time Dilation does connect there. Ziggity's going to throw some autos. Lucent on the Ziggity, but he just time walks most of that damage off. And that's a Spirit Breaker rotation for nothing, basically.
One lane I'm kind of surprised about is this bottom lane, because this Clinks is doing really well, and I kind of expected the Underlord and the Spirit Breaker to pressure him a lot more, since they're both very tanky.
And the Underlord actually picked up a level of Pit of Malice, which I think probably a mistake at this level. I don't know that you're going to be able to hold the Clinks in that long enough for it to really do a whole lot of work. Might be more effective to just have 2 in Firestorm so you can get some farm. But he's actually backed all the way up to the tower. I don't know if he's AFK or he's TPing top lane now. So they're just wanting more support here for the Luna because they feel she's not getting a whole lot, and they're right actually. She's 16 CS behind the offlane Void, so definitely not in a position that you want to be. Mana Leak is coming out here onto Maniac. It's going to be forced under the tower, but NoUR has 3 heroes up here now, so they're going to be able to force back that aggression. Aegisworn, another D ward. All right, so we've seen twice as many. Maybe we just didn't see him last game. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a terrible cameraman. He needs Sequoia back. In the mid lane here, Tar's pretty much taking care of business. He's up by 11 CS. Ember's not doing terribly, though. I mean, it does have a null tally.
It's better than last time.
I still would really like to see a Maelstrom come out on him before he decides to go into Radiance. I don't think it'll take him, 35 minutes to get Radiance again, but it would help to have the Maelstrom.
Yeah, he can get the Maelstrom faster, and plus that'll help him farm quicker to get the Radiance if he decides to go for that.
Oh, we got a charge here towards the mid lane as the Spirit Breaker wants to go on to Tar. Tar's going to see him. Is he going to get the Gust off? No, he actually turns around and runs instead. So a mistake there as the Remnants do connect. The Silence only connects on the Spirit Breaker. Now he's just going to burn to death as Vigorous. Yeah, there's the kill for Vigorous. Aegisworn wants to go in here, but he only has an Impale. And it does connect to the Ember, but the Flame Guard's going to easily protect him from that damage. Nothing doing there. So a little bit of a misplay there. I think that if Tar just gusts the Spirit Breaker, he walks away from that fine. But he tried to like run away and then try to turn around and gust. So he tried to like create more space, which in theory is a really good idea. But Dota has this thing called turn rates, and they're not very good on most heroes. So probably just stand your ground, throw the Silence, then run. So that definitely will help. I mean, it evens things out here. It's going to help the Ember Spirit quite a bit. He's got 2 null tallies. Another charge is coming out here onto Tar. So let's see. He's got Aegisworn Invis behind him this time. He's going to stand his ground. He actually doesn't see him. Oh, and Aegisworn walked into the stun. They both get stunned up. Tar's going to die now. Again, the Gust only connects on one, and he just burns down to the Flame Guard. So again, a bit of a misplay there. This time, potentially on the part of Aegisworn as he walked into that stun. Pit of Malice is going to connect onto 2. Demon Moose trying to run away without stunning himself. A nice Firestorm to kind of create some space here, and they're going to be able to walk out. So Tar does die. I don't know. I think that one was probably a lack of sight. I think it was just the tail end of nighttime, so he didn't see him until he was right on top. And then Aegisworn just walked a little too close, and they both got stunned with the charge.
As this all happening, though, this Clinks is just chilling bottom, just free farming away, though. He's getting pretty close to his Orchid.
Yeah, he's looking at like a 12-minute Orchid, and he's going to be level probably 8.5, 9 by the time he picks it up. So that's pretty scary, actually, considering that Luna still is not even in remotely close to a Helm of the Dominator. Vigorous is almost has completed this Veil, though, so much better item timing, I feel, coming out this game.
The rotation on Tar again.
Yeah, now he stands his ground, throws the Silence out, and that's the end of it. So, that's basically, I think that he does have a protective ward, but it's not coming from the direction that the Spirit Breaker is coming from, so they need to sneak like a support back here and throw a ward back there.
Luna's gonna die top here.
Yep. Oh, nice. 2-man Chronosphere coming out to stop the Luna from getting away, and the Silencer's, he's going to take some mana leakage and Coddle Blast.
Here comes Tar.
Tar, hasted up, coming from behind. He wants blood, and he's going to find it here as there's a Coddle Blast coming out here. It's going to connect, but not really doing anything. Aegisworn took a ton of damage, I'm assuming, from like the tower or something. He's very low. Maniac actually TP's back into this thing. If he gets stunned up, there's a charge coming out into the middle of things. He's going on to Tar. He stops on Sheepy. Now he's going to get impaled. Ember into the middle of things there. He's going to pick up the kill on Sheepy. Now Tar's going to try to TP out, and he is going to be successful. Kind of a dangerous TP, potentially. Time dilation is going to come out from Ziggity. Thought maybe he's maybe got Savior Friend Syndrome. Is he going to die for it, though? 2 seconds till he's got a leap. Yep. Savior Man Syndrome kills yet another. It's dangerous, folks. But like you said, on the bottom lane, Snaps is just farming away here. He's got enough for his second Oblivion Staff, plus about 300 to his recipe, so he's going to have Orchid here in the next minute or so, and he's going to be almost level 10. Holy cow. So my item timing is right. I thought he would be a little lower level, but he's actually getting really good experience down here. They're going to give this tower up most likely, but honestly, this is like the least important tower in the game because of the shrine positioning for Radiant. Oh, nice. Mana Leak's going to come up. The Pit of Malice, though, is going to connect on Ziggity. who's going to throw out a time dilation. Now the Luna ult's going to come out in the middle of things. The Lion Ult connects as well as an Impale onto like 3 heroes. Vigorous charging into the middle of things here. The Silencer Blast is going to go out onto Ziggity, and now Vigorous is like, oh, I want to get that kill before I die, but sorry, friend, you are not going to do that. Last word, there we go. But yeah, like I was saying, like this tower really doesn't mean a whole lot because the only reason you would need it is to get to Roche, and you have this bad boy right here, which you can't kill till you get a T3. So you've got that easy access to the Roshan pit. This really doesn't protect a whole lot of anything. So who cares, really, if that tower dies? And it didn't. So win-win.
Minor thing, but I don't know why Lion ran back, because Ziggity ran over and used that shrine where Lion was standing next to. So not sure why he ran back to heal.
Maybe a miscommunication thing. He did pick up a ward, and I think he finished Trinks as well, so I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to get those items, or maybe they just didn't communicate. So Snapped does have the Orchid. He is waiting. Oh, goodness. He actually... Oh, he wasted his... Oh, he didn't waste the Ghost Walk there, so he is going to pick up the kill, is going to Ghost Walk. I thought it looked kind of weird. Oh, the charge is going to connect here.
He doesn't have sight, though.
He does not. So that was. Oh, now the Hex. And could they turn this around here? The line actually backed up. If he was maybe a teensy bit faster, he could have maybe impaled, and the Orchid would have been off cooldown. But instead, the Orchid reveal does net a kill. We can switch over to net worth now, I suppose. And this is pretty much what I expected to see: is 3 LSC heroes at the top, followed by the 2 cores for NoUR, and then you've got those poor supports at the bottom. Surprisingly, Underlord, the lowest net worth. I feel this hero really benefits from farm, but kind of electing to make him the 5 support. So you got 4 top for LSC. Ziggity has changed his build up this game as well. He's going more utility, has picked up a Vlad's. I like that a lot because he's not really being relied on to provide damage in this game. He's basically the initiation and the support. Oh, goodness. Snap. This is so dangerous. He actually might get the kill because of the bullet burst. Yeah, he does get the kill, but the Luna gets a kill on him. Now the silence is out. Sheepy's going to get bashed up in the middle of things. Time dilation does pop out. Ziggity does have an ult if he wants to use it, and he is going to use it on 3 heroes, perfectly positioned so that Tar and AD2L can get 2 kills. They are not going to get the silencer kill. Doesn't look like he does have time life if he wants to. If he wants to go forward and try to get some kind of a bash. Now he's going to go forward with the double damage. Oh, the AD2L with the kill steal, and Underlord able to get away. So a pretty even fight in terms of golden experience, but it is 2 for 4. It just kind of shows you how much of a lead LSC has already built up in 15 minutes.
I think the laning was pretty much the same as last game, but NoUR has not done as well on smoking up and rotating this game.
So the charge is going to connect here. Oh, Vigorous tried to remnant forward, but didn't. He only went maybe 100 units and couldn't get close enough for the chains. Doesn't have a level in Slight right now, which, yeah, kind of a mistake. He is going for Radiance next too. I don't know about this, but I don't want to harp on it too much. Snapped is going to get seen by this tower. He is going to get charged up as well. Does he have sight this time? He does have dust, actually. And the team is relatively close. Pit of Malice nowhere near Snapped, but it's not going to matter as the Firestorm is going to follow up here, as well as the last word. And goodbye, Snapped. The Emus actually came fairly close to dying there. He's got 6 earn charges already. Pop one of those, bud. And you've got a bounty there? Like... a little bit of friendly banter. Yes, if you click on this tower, you can see there is no way to sneak by that unless you go all the way up and around.
Luna is just now completing her helm,
which is about the same timing as last game, really. Like, it feels... This game feels very reminiscent of the last game in terms of NoUR and how they are... kind of approaching the game, but the difference is the LSC has many more kills. They've been much more aggressive this game than in that last game.
Yeah, I think NoUR probably would have won last game. If the Radiance probably wouldn't have come out, if it would have been a Maelstrom, I think would have helped a lot. And if Luna probably wouldn't have spent so much time on the helm, I just don't think it's worth the time that's spent getting it.
Yeah, they've nerfed the stats, they've nerfed the regen, they added increased gold to it, so it's an expensive item that doesn't do as much as it used to. It really feels underwhelming now. I think that if you pick up, even if you go straight into Dragonlance first, like at least that way you're getting damage and survivability. Really, all you're getting here is the ability to hold a creep and +2 all attributes. I mean, that's not good. Like, it used to be +8 all attributes.
They get Clinks again.
They do get the Clinks again, so maybe Snap's getting a little bit overconfident, getting a little too far up. I mean, he is doing well in terms of gold, but you start to feed away those lead kills, and things can change in a hurry. So you gotta be careful not to be too overconfident, especially when they're just roaming around as 4. Like, if you're gonna go on somebody, go on Maniac. He's up here all by himself, just now turning around. They don't have there's 2 towers. Look at all the space that you have to go gank this guy. But instead, kind of going into some weird territory. So, I don't know. NoUR are probably going to have to settle down and try to farm up. I don't really know that they want to take a ton of fights.
Do you think they're going to do better in mid to late game over LSC with Clinks and Drow going against them?
I think it's close. I think the problem with going late game is not necessarily the Drow and the Clinks, it's the Coddle. If Coddle's able to get his Aghanims, then high ground defense, or even from either side, so like defending your own high ground or going up high ground, are both going to be incredibly difficult. Like, you're going to have to do both during the nighttime. So like, if they try to push uphill during the day, they're going to have so much sustain, and you're not going to be able to push up during the day. So it's basically like 4-minute intervals where you're going to be able to do stuff. So I think, honestly, that the hero that you're worried about in the late game is maybe the Keeper of the Light, which sounds super weird because he's not going to provide like tons of damage, but just the amount of heal that he can provide is going to be pretty big. Now, LSC is smoked up, and they might actually walk right into... Oh, they walk right into another smoke. They smoke right next to it. A 2-man Chronosphere does come out here. The silence does come out, but it's too late. The Chronosphere is already there. 1 hero is dead. The Spearburger's probably going to die as well. The Pit of Malice not doing anything, and 3 heroes dead now. In the backline, Silence is trying to get a kill there. He is going to get a kill onto Snapped, but he's going to die for his trouble. Did he die? I think he actually died after the Clinks, so he actually gets the int steal there, which is kind of important, but 4 heroes down for 1. As we look here, it's a good exchange for LSC. They're going to get this tower as well. Honestly, short cooldowns. I was going to say maybe they could go uphill, but with early game cooldowns, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think they just rotate mid and take another tower, and then maybe take Roche.
So you think instead of banning the Medusa, maybe ban the Void in this game? Oh, nice ult coming out here from the Spearberg. Ooh, the insta disconnect pause. Very unfortunate. The Pit of Malice is only going to connect on the Void. Does have a time walk, but cannot use it while he is rooted. So we have this little awkward pause here in the middle of things. The chains are connect. No, the chains did not connect with anything. They were used. They connected with creeps back here.
I think it would have been probably better for them to probably leave the axe into the pool and put ban the Void in one of their first 2.
Honestly, I think that you could probably leave the Tinker in too. I know Tar likes the Tinker, but he jokes that the team doesn't let him play Tinker. And honestly, I feel there are more solutions for Tinker than there are for like a good Chronosphere. So somehow, either thanks to the pause or thanks to some great coordination there, or a little bit of both, they managed to get out of that with no kills. So good 4-staff use, good stuns. So they're not going to be able to go uphill, but they could go rotate into this mid lane. Maniac is maybe extended out too much here. Ziggity does not have a blink. It doesn't look like he's going to go for it. Snapped. Don't do it, buddy. Yeah. Oh, he remembered, like, right as he was starting to walk through tower range. NoUR gathered up into the middle of their base here, trying to find some way to stay alive in this game. Tome is going to be picked up on the Underlord as well as a Blade Mail. Kind of an... I don't know how I feel about that, but we are going to have a charge into the middle of things here. Actually, up into Lion, who hexes him immediately. The time dilation connects onto 2 heroes. Luna is silenced up, trying to run away here. Snaps is just going to focus on the Spirit Breaker, kill him. Now, in the meantime, Luna's trying to get away. Pit of Malice is going to connect onto 2 heroes, forcing them to back up. Oh, and then 2 more. So now they're just going to focus their attention onto this tower, and looks like NoUR is just going to give it up.
I think LC just rotates to Roche and then goes to like mid lane and goes for a tier 3. Even if they just get the tier 3, then they can just rotate around and get those shrines.
Yep. I thought maybe they kill that shrine first just to prevent the easy TP in there, but I don't know that NoUR, like, they're pinging it out, but they're so spread out, there's nothing they can do about it. They have to do it as 5, and there's just no way they can do that. So this is an easy Aegis. Probably going to go on to Tar. Yeah. So Tar picks up an Aegis of the Immortal here at 22 minutes. Pretty ridiculously early time considering the lineup that you've got. But, you know, Drow lineups, look at all the damage that these guys are pumping out here. Like, even Keeper of the Light and Lion are hitting for a large chunk of damage, but Clinks, 88 plus 120. Like, on top of the Orchid and the Desolator that is soon to be out, that is just a ridiculous amount of damage. Pit of Malice is going to connect here. Spirit Breaker is going to charge in onto Ziggity, hoping to stop him up from the ults, and they are going to do that with the silence. They go on to Tar here with the Demon Moose ultimate, but he's got Aegis the Immortal, so probably not a good idea. Aegis or Luna silenced up immediately. Now Demon Moose is mana leaked and probably going to die as he's impaled. Lion ult comes out in the middle of things. Vigorous tries to go, oh, nice 3-man Chronosphere in the middle of things. Now LSE needs to reorient themselves here. Tar is going to get the Aegis popped. Now the Underlord's having to run away here from the Chakra or the mana leak. He's really low. 70 health is all that he's got left, but they're just going to leave him and focus on the buildings here as there are 3 dead, almost a 4th there for NoUR and LSC. Looking to take their first racks of the game. Vigorous actually goes forward into that. He's actually double silenced up the Orchid and the Drow. That is the first racks of the game. And LSE is just dominating here in Game 2 as they are sitting at about 15k net worth and 10k experience lead at 24 minutes. Now we got a charge in here. Nice Pit of Malice connects on 4 heroes, but the Hex comes out on the Spirit Breaker. Now 3-man stun comes, or silence comes out rather. Luna's going to have to back up in the middle of things. Tar is taking a lot of damage from the Pit of Malice, and now Blade Mail is coming out. Maniac in the middle of things does get a nice eclipse there that does kill Tar finally, and they have forced LSC back, but they did lose a melee Rax and almost lost the ranged as well, and for only being 24 minutes into the game, that is huge. Oh, Ziggity, why didn't you just pick it up, bud? Oh, no. Oh, I think if he would have picked that up, he would have had at least a chance. Pick it up, time walk forward, and run like a bat out of hell, but kind of hesitated, panicked maybe a little bit, and does actually end up dying. So good pickups for NoUR, but LSC still in a very commanding position here. So they've got a Rax. They've got the ability to go kill these shrines at any time. And it looks like we're going to have a relatively short Roshan cooldown timer. Now in the mid lane here, Impale does come out. Does not connect actually on any heroes. Maniac's going to throw out a Lucent Beam and go onto this Coddle, but the Blinding Light is going to connect and stuns her up thanks to the mana leak, and she's going to die as well. So there's 2 heroes down. This Clinks does have his Orchid. Looks like he's going into the Dragonlance next, and honestly, with the way things are going right now, I'd love to see Snaps go Bloodthorn and just rip through these heroes even faster.
I think what LSC is in a very good position. I think they let this Coddle finish up his eggs, which he's almost at. Only needs like 170 more gold, and then just go top or bottom. And I don't think there's anything with those heal blasts that NoUR can do.
Yeah, and there's only about 2 minutes until nighttime, so they might have to wait a little bit longer than they might like. But it looks like they're just going to go uphill anyway. At least they're posturing to do so. They do have a Chronosphere available. Let's see what they're going to do here. Coddle needs 40 gold, so like one Coddle, like kill the Shrine, and that's Tar's pinging it out. In the meantime, NoUR is smoked up here. They're going for a little bit of a wraparound. The charge is going to connect on Tar. Triple Remnant into the middle of things, blows up Clinks instantly, and there goes Tar as well. So 2 big kills there for NoUR, and now the rest of the team may be in a little bit of trouble. Ziggity's going to get a 2-man chrono up there, but actually connects on the Lion as well, who's going to die. Now Ziggity in a little bit of trouble himself. He's not sure where to go. He's going to leap over the cliff there and then continue to run. Unfortunately, they do have sight on this, and now the charge... Oh, no. Charge came on a creep. He's going to blink into the trees there. Oh, nice TP forward by Vigorous. Do they know where he's at? It does not look like they do. So a little bit of sneaky jukage going on there from Ziggity. He managed to escape. But the 2 core heroes for LSE do fall. Now a charge onto Sheepy as he's coming forward. A blinding light is going to push him away. I thought maybe he'd let him get closer and push him in, but not with the Aegis Warden being the only hero there. And there is your Aghanim Scepter. Unfortunately, only 40 seconds until nighttime. So a good way to stem the bleeding from NoUR, creates a little space for them to farm. The lanes are pushed out decently well. Nighttime's almost there, so they don't have to worry as much about the keeper. But Tar wants to keep the aggression up. He's bought a smoke. He's got BKB in the queue. And rightfully so. They do have a ton of magic damage, just like the last game, but unlike the last game, he does not have a mana shield to protect him. So here's an item we don't see a whole lot anymore. Maniac is the Drum of Endurance is actually picked up on the Spirit Breaker. I think it's actually pretty decent in this instance, but since he's kind of like that support and he needs mana regen. But yeah, you don't see that a whole lot anymore.
No, because it's not really good on a lot of the people that it used to be picked up on.
Snapped is on the hunt. Unfortunately, there are 5 NoUR heroes sitting right next to each other. There is a relic picked up on Vigorous, so he's about 700 gold away from having Radiance. They do have a smoke. I thought maybe they were going to do it there and that Snapped would like instantly pop it and then get dusted and die, but it does not look like that's what they're going to do. Snapped is pinging out on the Silencer. He wants to kill him first to get rid of that ultimate. A charge comes out the top in the meantime. Now the blink forward. Oh my goodness. Ooh. He just... there used to be a Silencer there. I don't know what happened to him, but he used to be there. Just explodes. Now Ziggity, he's 3-man Chronosphere. His team's not really in the greatest position here, but now Snap's in the middle doing some damage. A nice 3-man Impale comes out, followed by a nice silence from Tar. The damage is coming out on all sides here. That's a 5-man wipe, and that could just be GG right there. Well played there by Ziggity, getting a perfect Chronosphere. Didn't even need to like time dilate forward or blink forward or anything. Just casually strolls in, gets a 3-man Chrono, and his team does the rest. Luna buyback, Spearbreaker buyback. I don't know if that's enough to save this Rax, even with the Silencer there. They don't have a Void ult, but they have pretty much everything else. Charge going to be in the middle of things. Silence does come out as well as a global. So Snapped may be in a little bit of trouble here. Spearbreaker is going to fall really quickly. Now Luna trying to go on him, but Snapped actually goes invisible for a second and picks up the kill on Silencer and then picks up the kill on the Luna. So 3 diebacks and GG's called at 30 minutes as LSE turned on the Afterburners. NoUR thought they were close in that first game, and they were, but I think they needed to change up their game plan a little bit more for Game 2.
I think teams need to give more respect to that Ziggity Faceless Void, because we see it so many times where he gets so many good ults that just put him in these positions to win. So I think teams need to start banning him early.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The Axe has been really, really good for them. I think I would take my chances with Tinker over the Ziggity Void at the moment, at least until you're proven otherwise. So that will do it for us here at All About Dota. I'm Legion 170. He's Maniac. Thanks for watching. If you like the cast, if you like what we do, please give us a follow on the Twitch. We're trying to get our followers up so that we can do more games, do more cool things, host some tournaments, stuff like that. So if you would, give us a follow. send us a message on Twitter. I'm at Legion170, and we'll see you next week.